Hello everyone and welcome back for another episode of Stellaris. We have our little Savantian coalition over here. We've carved out this this section of the the middle rim. It's not quite the inner rim, that's the inner rim, and there's the core over there. In terms of what we're doing right now, obviously we are trying to maintain our relations with the Royal Pious Alliance to the south. They are more powerful than us and quite significant on the whole victory thing. Just past them is the Jaxtabot Continuance. They are some kind of ancient empire, so they're not really going to be interested in us. But we've got a college. We've got a science ship down there going around exploring the area around them, and at the same time we're kind of in a very tentative piece with the Valkyrian Assembly. I think they're going to want to declare war on us. We don't want that. They are more powerful than us, not by much, but by enough that it's annoying. We've got one entry point here, we've got another entry point there, we've got another entry point there. I want to get these couple of bits colonized as quickly as possible, just in case there's a connector over here that links back up. I want to secure our passage into the outer rim round this way. So that's where our current focus is. Let's unpause a little bit. Now they just beat us to Zephmon here, which is annoying because I was really hoping we'd be able to grab that for ourselves. So we have a construction ship that's somewhere that's going to come back next
Construction
year.
complete.
Cool. And that is a starbase that has finished. Now, good thing about the starbases is we've still got a bit of capacity to keep securing our border. But we have lots of alloys, which means we can do lots of potential defenses and things. So I'm going to just spend a little bit of time going through our various star bases and making sure they are up to scratch. Now, I would quite like to get some kind of extra view. Interstellar Recruitment Office. External recruitable leaders per class +1. And chance for renowned leaders to contact us. Conceptually, not against it. Not on the front line, though. What I would like is something that's going to allow us to view a bit further, but I don't think we've got anything yet that can increase our sensor range. So we might just have to work on improving like defense platform capability within this area, which is fine. So let's get some gun batteries out. I like the idea of having a starport that's just like a trade hub generator kind of thing. Not against that as a concept. Having somewhere to build ships closer to the front line could also be useful, but right now let's get 2 gun batteries queued up and the target uplink computer. And we'll think about getting some defense platforms in at some point.
System survey complete.
Ooh, where is that? This is down in Tabong. This is down near the Jaxtabot. I'm going to end up calling it Jataxibot. I just know it. The way it's spelled, my brain is just going all over the place with that. So we can't survey systems within someone else's empire, but we can kind of like push through. Let's scooch around the edge until we know what's going on there. I'm also, in fact, let's do this one first, and then we'll come back to this one. Because that's just inside the inner rim, but I don't think it's necessarily going to connect up to anywhere. It's also worth us taking a look at our general population. So we have a couple of specialists that are unemployed. We could do some buildings to give them a bit. Let's pause that for a second. Do some buildings or do some districts in order to give them jobs to do. This was primarily going to be mining. We've got a lot of minerals coming in, but we could always have more. So let's get another mining district going there. This one was mostly going to be generators. We are a little bit low on energy credits, but we do have some unemployment. So let's get another one going there. That's those two taken care of. Let's have a look at the capital. The capital, we don't have capacity for anything else. So until we get some kind of special... Oh, we do have specialism available for the mines. Okay. This could be mineral research support. So minor jobs, engineering jobs. Engineers turn consumer goods into engineering research. I'm not against this. So we're lacking 374 and we don't have self-connecting circuitry. So that's not really gonna happen. But we could at least get 3 buildings with the mineral extraction. I would love to do this. So how do we push for self-connecting technology? Let's hold off on the specialism for the moment, because I don't know if you can change... Ooh. You can change the specialism, I think. If you can change the specialism, then it's not necessarily a bad thing for us to just get a specialism in there. It would be a waste of resources. That's the thing. The question is about the technology and how quickly we could get to that particular one we need. Probably not going to do it for a while. So in the meantime, let's have a look at our next tradition. So we've done discovery all the way down. Let's have a look and think about what's going to be most useful for us, especially given we've got some potentially angry neighbors. We want to keep true to ourselves. We want to still be very diplomatic and things like that. Adaptability is always useful. Attitude, that's great for leaders. Archivism, good for our massive museum thing. That improves the specimen output as well, and improves our archaeology. I mean, I'm not against this as a whole. Let's have a look at the diplomacy. So that's going to reduce our diplomatic influence cost, which is good. Getting extra envoys is also good. Reducing border friction is nice. So diplomacy is current favorite. Domestication, that's all for farming and stuff. Domination is for versus the planets. Enmity, interesting, allows us to be antagonistic. I don't think we'll go for expansion right now. How's Harmony look? Okay, it makes people a bit more cohesive and reduces our empire spread a little, and reduces crime, improves stability. So this is not a terrible plan. Mercantile, I don't think we'll go for. Politics, getting another envoy is good. Getting influence for officials could also be very good. Whenever a resolution you propose passes, gain 18 months worth of unity. That's kind of interesting. That allows you to really push into it. Prosperity is all about more production stuff. And then we're down to the bottom ones. We can't do... Well, I mean, we could do those, but they're not really going to help. Departmental efficiency. So statecraft is all about the council, the agenda. Interesting, but not for us. Subterfuge, I don't think is great. I mean, encryption could be useful, but we're not really that kind of empire. Supremacy for ships in combat. Not yet. Unyielding, potentially. Defensive armies now produce 0.5 unity. I'm not against that. Star bases and defense platforms have their hull points increased by 33%, yeah. Improves our starbase capacity, that's also good. So unyielding is a really strong candidate right now. Cybernetics is all about the simulation. We don't care about that. Genetics could be very interesting, especially with our uplifting of other species. We're not really doing clone vats though. So genetics, I think, is going to come a bit later. Psionics, we're not really interested in. And I don't think synthetics. So it's a toss-up between unyielding and diplomacy. And I think unyielding at this point is going to be what we go for.
Council agenda available.
So this allows an agenda of impenetrable border. It immediately improves our starbase capacity by 2 and improves the upgrade speed. So we're not going to change. What is this? So impenetrable border gives an extra 5% starbase hull points, reduces our war exhaustion. Okay. And increased chance of star-based research options. It's interesting. I don't think we're going to necessarily push for it, but right now unyielding just gives us a flat benefit for being able to build our frontier out. So I like that. That took a little bit of time, but worth reading these things. Now we have a construction ship that's on its way down here to pick up those minor artifacts, but straight after it's done that, I want it to come back up here because we're going to be carrying on our expansion. So we have an anomaly that's been found in the... Oh, Equitar 5. That's up here. All right. It's routine. Go ahead and investigate that. It is potentially going to slow us down with this little expansion, but I don't mind that too much at this point. Hey, leaders are becoming veterans. So our Minister of Defense, our combat veteran, who is in command of one of our fleets, we could give him extra ship bonuses by becoming an admiral. I think probably the admiral is the most useful for him based on what we have him doing. So we'll give him that one. And our Minister of State, more diplomatic weight. We've gone in on trade. Specialist pop resource output could be good. Are you currently a sector governor or... Yes, you are. You're a planet governor, so that would improve the pop resource and reduce their amenity usage. And that's on the home planet, so that's quite significant. Or we really lean into the trade. I think we'll go for industrialist. I think that will have a big benefit on the bottom line for Sheltered Reach. In terms of amenities, we have plenty of leftover, and that gives extra happiness, which helps improve stability, which helps improve output as well. So it just kind of like doubles down on itself. At least that's the feeling of it. A whiff of something. The CVSS Emplar has recovered an elongated metal box from the service of Equitia 5. Clusters of small perforations on 5 sides lead the science officer to believe it's not a container, but some sort of aerosol dispersal device. Initial tests seem to confirm their suspicions, as trace aromatics still emanate from the object. A special project has been issued to confirm whether this might be an information-carrying device, constructed by some alien race communicating primarily through secretion and perception of atmosphere-borne chemical compounds. Malodorous. Okay.
Situation log updated.
So does that mean we have we have a special project here. Okay. Change plan. Do this project. And then carry on surveying. So it's going to be a little bit longer to actually get the survey done here. And then I don't know which way we'll probably send you that way. How are things coming down here? Oh, they're expanding. They're really pushing this way.
Special project complete.
The box is indeed a document of sorts. Science Officer Vika Navfelman admits that they've been hoping for a historical record of some other kind of codex, significant to whatever culture left it behind, but they were disappointed. The true nature of the aromatic box seems to be a collection of fairly short narratives which, going by the rapid changes in odour towards the end of each sequence, are intended to surprise or be interpreted as comedic. The techniques used to store and reproduce specific smells is of some interest, but the tales it tells are not. The crew of the Emplar are left with an uncomfortable feeling that they've unwittingly become intimately familiar with what certain gaseous byproducts of alien digestion smell like. However, the science officer is unwilling to speculate as to why the box was dumped on this frozen hellscape of a planet. So this has given us a specimen, a cache of information encoded in the medium of scent. Up here as an aesthetic wonder, so this would give 500 amenities. I don't think this is necessary. I think we should / could sell it. We can also just keep it. I think keeping it's not a bad idea. So let's hold on to it for now. And we have a level up for that. So you've got Eye for Talent and Resilient at the moment. So we could lean into Eye for Talent. given your surveying, I think Eye for Talent is the best of those options. You are the Master of Guidance, though. So we could improve our research speed. Yeah, let's do that. Spark of Genius. I'm sure that will help us out. Oh god, they are really expanding down here, aren't they? They are going to get eaten by this empire. I so wanted to colonize that planet. I'm so sad. That comes back in about 4 months. That's not too bad. How are you doing with your surveys? 4 more. That's not too bad. And we have our other science ship on its way to explore this little subsection. We may end up like jumping over and claiming these systems. Obviously, we want to avoid that massive void cloud. That is a horrible, nasty thing. But the rest of it should be good. Right, what do we got? We have blue lasers. New research. Ooh, exotic materials lab. That would reduce researcher upkeep, but it would, however, require us to have some exotic materials. I think those are the gases. Let's not go for that yet. I do like this as an idea. But I think it's going to be better for us if we go for the deflectors for right now. Our uplifting of the Jorgalites is still ongoing, so we can have a quick check-in on that. That's going to be in our situation log. Another 23 months, so really not that long. And then we can get the next one uplifting. Now, with those upgrades to the lasers, do we have... let's go fleet management, ship designer. So these are using mass drivers and nuclear warheads, so they're not really going to be upgradable, repairable. We'll keep our ships as they are for right now. We're not in a situation where we need to
System survey complete.
mass producing anything. Right, let's pause. What have we got? We've got Mu aliens. So we've finished the system survey in the Shinu system. Let's pull back down, and I think we definitely can't do Siberian because it is in another Empire space. They won't allow that, but we can skirt the edge of this body. These hostile aliens. Oh, they're not too powerful. This might be worth us actually building some ships and coming to do something with them. Okay, so for right now, you're backing up, then you're going there, and then there. That's great. In the meantime, I will bring our fleet up one space. You're fully built. You're fully built. You're not fully built, but you're in the process of building. And our other starbase is the shipyard back at home, and that's good enough. Okay, now is probably going to be the time for us to consider building up our fleet and taking out. I am assuming those are mining robots. So we've made first contact with mysterious aliens and the Massadra system. For now, we've codenamed them the Mu aliens. Let's assign an envoy. They can start working on that. And in the meantime, we'll go to our fleet management and the ship designer. And as much as this is an auto design, we want to do some proper planning. So, what can we tell about these? Not a great deal by the looks of it. So we'll go for a new Corvette design. I think we could do an artillery style. What range are we looking at on these? Range 100. With the role being artillery, so it'll try and keep out of range. That's not terrible. If we put more shields on than armor. Yeah, let's get more deflectors. And I like the idea of a bit of point defense. So accuracy 75, tracking 10, accuracy 75, tracking 50. These just feel... Oh, it's ultimately about armor penetration, armor damage versus shield penetration, shield damage. Let's go for the flak battery. And nuclear missiles. Cool. This is our first long-range artillery ship. I mean, it's a tiny picket ship, but so this is missile boat. And in terms of the actual missiles, we will be upgrading these over time, but I like the idea that it's got a little bit of defense associated with it. So we'll save that. Let's get ourselves a gunship. I mean, it's not a bad design having the lasers. So the lasers are going to do... They're much shorter range. Mass drivers are a little bit longer range. Mass drivers do shield damage. Let's although even with the difference, I think blue lasers are going to be better. So we're going to do less shield damage initially, but more armor and hull. So really we want a mix of these, I think. It's specifically useful if you know what the construction of the enemy is. Let's go for 2 deflectors and 1 armor. And this is our anti-armor, anti-hull combination. And one of the reasons why I like that is, while this does do less armor damage, it doesn't have the bonus to hull, so overall blue lasers are going to be much better. There we go. So really this is a Corvette. You know what, we'll just call it anti-armor. There we go. So we've got our old Replar, which is mass drivers and nuclear missiles. We've got a new long-range missile boat and a gunship whose role is really going to be keeping mid-range and working to get in there. I think that's going to work well. And we don't need to... until we get an equivalent to the lasers for shield, I don't think we need to design any more. Which means we can go to the fleet manager and add a couple of ships. So I think we'll go for 2 missile boats, 3 missile boats. And then we go for the anti-armor. That feels alright. It's not going to be hugely powerful, but it should be enough to take these. Let's go for 5. So that's 300, 450, 600. Yeah, I think 5 of each. And we've got enough to build it, so let's reinforce, get them queued up. Now this is going to eat into our maintenance costs, but hopefully we'll get more generators going.
System survey complete.
Hey, cool, the Ictocula is done. So we're going to carry on expanding up here, find out if there's a connection this way. I don't think there is, because we can see a number of directions. So we may be safe to colonize this whole area here. Hey, cool. Our reinforcement fleets are on the way, and our new construction ship is here. So let's come up and get ourselves a new starbase. No combat down here, no nasty aliens. That's all good. You know, it is probably worth us sending you for upgrades at some point, but I think the upgrades are only going to be for the reactors. Ooh, well, the Solcaton Multistellar are coming around this way. That's kind of
Anomaly
interesting.
found.
We can just about see it. Okay, we have an easy anomaly. Supply ship wreckage. Sensors report a shipwreck of unidentified origin. Go have a look at that. I worry every time I see that. Looks like it's inside their territory. First contact event with the new aliens upon entering Masajo. Our sensors picked up strange readings. Dismissed at first as glorified asteroids, these things quickly changed when it was discovered the entities reacted aggressively to movement in space, even at great distance. Observation of these entities, preferably from safe distances, advised. Cool. Keep looking from a distance. Ooh. There is a world we could try and colonize over here. I hadn't spotted that. What would that take? 529 influence. That's not going to happen. Because it costs more influence because we would have to be jumping over enemy territory. That's the reason for that. Okay, the wreckage has been identified. Our crew aboard the CVSS Supla report that the fetus shipwreck appears to have been the result of an unexpected geomagnetic solar storm. The supply ship suffered a complete loss of life support systems and sustained inoperable damage, drifting until it entered Fetus's gravity well. There are no survivors. The ship's cargo hold does indeed contain a notable amount of minerals, however. Captain of the CVS Supla cautious that the construction indicates raw design. Well, we like the raw. The raw are our friends down here, so 300 minerals. we're going to return it. 300 minerals is nothing. So we will not risk an altercation.
Construction complete.
Awesome. Our starbase has upgraded on the Banunda system. We have some defense
System
platforms that
survey
can
complete.
be upgraded, so let's do that quickly. And incoming transmission from the Raw Pious Alliance. Savanti, we've received word of our down supply ship's cargo. We would like to extend our gratitude to you for taking the time to recover it without the need for royal intervention. Well, it's our pleasure. 100 influence, thank you very much, and 1 favor, which we can use. I like getting favors. Now, this system does have a tiny bit of a generator. It's not anything really to write home about. So I think it's not going to be high on our list of places to
Ships upgraded.
colonize.
Anomaly found.
That is the defense platforms that we've got upgrading. New anomaly, an asteroid in orbit, really easy. So class 12 asteroid orbits the planet. The small planetoid's orbit appears to be too stable for its presence to be natural occurrence. We'll find out what's going on with it. Ooh, looks like we can build a little research station up here as well, which I'm quite looking forward to.
Research complete.
And this is our engineering research for the coil gun. So now is a time for us to consider upgrading those mass drivers. Let's stick some new research out. So, hypothetically, nanomechanics will lead to self-containing circuitry, which is the one I wanted. So, nanomechanics is definitely worth us doing. So this is going to potentially open up a materials workshop, which just improves the amount of research we get per engineer. That's good. It's going to take a while for us to do that, but it's all part of an investment for the future. 9 months for us to finish uplifting the Jocolite species. And while we're here, let's have a look at our ship designer. So we've got our anti-armor design. Let's generate a new design. So this is going to be a corvette. It's also going to be a gunship, but this is mostly going to be the coil guns. And I think we'll have these as 2 shields, 1 armor. Set it to auto update, and this is going to be the anti-shield. Save that, which means we can get rid of the Replar, and we can swap over the old corvettes. So we're going to retrofit these into anti-shields. We've still got ships being built for those. Good. Which means, as a fleet, you should head to the starbase and get yourself sorted, and then we'll bring you back afterwards.
Construction complete.
Great. We are now getting more of those little minor alien artifacts. Not little, minor alien artifacts. The Valkyrian Assembly is still trying to claim our systems. this is not too much of a problem, but it is obviously worrying. Let's check our relations with them. It's not gotten significantly worse. Like, it's improved ever so slightly, so we are not exactly bringing them back, but we're certainly not making things worse. We could assign more envoys. Yeah, let's do that. We'll get another envoy here, improving relations. And we'll see if we can swing them round over time. I would love to be able to improve relations with the splintered Savanti. Maybe we should send an envoy over to the Sokoton Multistella. Yeah, let's get that going as well. So we do have still someone doing first contact down here. That's going to keep going. That's good. It means that we've got one envoy spare, for want of a better way of putting it.
System survey complete.
Whereabouts is this? This is the Genmo system. And it looks like our friends, the Royal Pious Alliance, are also surveying down here. Well, let's keep ahead of them and try and pick up as many anomalies as we can. We are just losing a teensy bit of energy credits, but I'm not worried about that right now. For some reason, someone has towed an asteroid into stable orbit around Koikyak 4. Massive engine sections of braking thrusters can still be found on the surface, although they have long since been rendered inoperable. Whoever did this also mined the asteroid for minerals, but the operations were seemingly abandoned. Okay. Just more research to pick up there. I'm not against that. And actually, it looks like we've got some physics research we can build down here as well. It's going to take you a little bit of time to get back to the starbase.
System survey complete.
All right, let's get you to come and check this one out. That's right on the very edge of what we could claim.
We have found an anomaly. From time to time, our science ships will make the...
Well done, tutorial. I didn't ask for that. We've got anomalies like all over the place. Yeah, our fleet is getting stronger. It's going to be good experience for them taking these ships out. First contact event. The entities encountered by our fleet some time ago are wondrous new forms of spaceborne life. Quickly nicknamed Space Amoeba. They're Space Amoeba. I thought they were going to be mining robots. Following an analysis, gross misreading of initial sensor output, the creature is in fact larger than the average Savantian corvette. We should leave it be and remotely monitor the creature and its kin from sheltered reach. We can definitely coexist. So we can either study them or we can claim them. I think we're going to claim them.
They can talk, and they want to talk to us.
Okay, we have a special project for amoeba pacification, which will be 57 months to do. 42 months for improved deflectors. I feel improved deflectors are less useful to us right
System
now.
survey complete.
So let's kick that special project off. And that's That's going to be good. You're done with your survey. This is an amazing system. We want this one. Very much so. So you're coming down here, then do that, then do that. I do want to know what's going up this way. But we can always change the order that we're doing things in. You're almost in place to start your construction. And you're coming down to do the ones around here. So does that mean the space amoebas are... I mean, we have to assume that they're going to be hostile until we complete that project.
Council agenda ready.
Amazing. Open arms. So this is going to give some automatic resettlement chance, more trade. Everyone is a bit more xenophilic, and potentially external recruitable leaders per class +2. Let's pick a new agenda. So, evolving society, that's going to be good for just giving us a fat ton of unity. Progressive growth isn't really the right time for us. Impenetrable border isn't really the right time for us. I think evolving society. Let's get some more unity. So even just picking it is giving us 10% more unity. And that's going to last for 10 years, of course. Let's dismiss that off. And with that, we're actually at a pretty good point to finish off for this episode. I'll stop just before we finish uplifting the Jorklights. We'll do that next time. Thank you very much for coming along, everyone. I do hope you have enjoyed this. As always, if you have, be sure to give a big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so, and you'll be told when the next episode goes live. Otherwise, I'll see you next time for another episode of Stellaris. See you soon.